Welcome into A Toast of Film. I'm your host, Ebo, and guys, sorry about the sound quality. We just are redoing the studio. I just got the hardwood floors put in. It's a little echoey. We're working on filling the space, turning this into a proper studio. But I have a bonus for y'all this week. It's not a bonus I wish I was doing because today, September 22nd, 2025, is the 5-year anniversary of me losing my father, Ed. So hopefully I'll be able to keep it together, all that kind of stuff. So let's just see how it turns out, because not only am I going to be telling y'all some stories about my father, but also I watched a movie that he always wanted me to watch that unfortunately I'll never get the chance to watch with him. And that is the 1948 film, The Three Godfathers, starring Mr. John Wayne, amongst others. So I'll be getting into that review, and I wanted to do a very special toast this week. So I have a little bit of Ed's Crown XO, the last bottle he ever bought. He would not be too pleased with me getting in his old stash, but we're going to allow it, and I did it just how he always preferred. Just straight up with some 7-Up. He preferred diet, wanted to watch his calories, or he'd make some joke about that. But let's go ahead and toast so we can get into, some stories. Now, the 6th ever episode of this podcast we recorded after I lost Ed, and Trey and I lost our friend Sam, who we worked with at Movie Stop. And I'll put a link to that below where it'll take you to episode 6. It's a very good episode, so you'll probably hear some of the same stories if you listen to both. But the thing about Ed is he was 6'2", he's not small like me. And he was a very larger than life person. He walked into a room, he was instantly the center of attention of the room. He just had a presence about him, partially because his big smile, he'd walk in, partially because of all the jokes and get people laughing. He just liked making people feel loved, making people feel happy. And some of that did attribute to movies. So every Wednesday, without fail, me, him, and my mom, we would get in the living room and we would have a family movie night. We'd usually get a pizza from Papa John's. We'd sit down and we'd watch a movie together. Sometimes we liked the movie, sometimes we didn't. Sometimes it was a movie we'd never seen before. Sometimes it was a movie we'd all seen and just wanted to watch a, goodie. And then thankfully, I had a lot of instances going to a theater, whether it's going to see the second Transformers with him falling asleep, and also saying it's the loudest film he's ever seen. We took my nephew to that one. Or whether it was me and him seeing Galaxy Quest and just laughing. Me and him seeing The Patriot at our local dollar theater, where we had peanut M&Ms and we just laughed when the cannonball knocked the dude's leg off. Just a lot of good ones. One of my favorites was the power went out. So my dad was like, why are we sitting here in the dark? Let's go to Hollywood Connection and watch a movie. And we went and saw Without a Paddle. But me and him, we watched so many movies there in our house, in the theater, and we watched a lot of football. It's fantasy football season, so it kind of sucks not being able to talk to him, because that was one of my favorite parts of the week. But I digress. So one movie, though, he always wanted me to watch because he talked about how sweet it was The Three Godfathers. So this is a 1948 film directed by John Ford, who's the director of The Grapes of Wrath, amongst tons of other films. And it starts these three kind of, they're just some rascals, bank robbers, the like. We got John Wayne as Robert, Pedro Armendariz as Pedro, and Harry Carey Jr. as the Aberdeen Kid. These three guys, they're not like terrible people, but they're not good people. They're bank robbers, they're scallywags, what have you. But after this really bad storm, they come across this dying woman. And she's dying. She, thanks to the storm, she was pregnant when she got stuck in the storm. But they help her give birth, and she names the child after these three gentlemen who saved her baby. And she passes, and upon passing, she declares them the baby's godfather and wants them to raise the baby as their own. And, these guys, they're on the run when this happens. And it just so happens that the woman is the niece of the sheriff who's after them. This movie is a very good Western. It is a very sweet movie, and it has a very happy ending, which is all you can ask for. You get this, nice ride. These guys, they all end as good guys, and the movie ends good. It's a nice feel-good film. It's good acting, well-directed. I highly suggest checking it out. 3 Godfathers. I'm going to give a 4.5 out of 5 cheers. Westerns aren't really my thing, but this is a good one. So, guys, I wanted to come in here, and I not only wanted to, tell some nice short stories about Ed, especially the movies, and also review the 3 Godfathers, but I mainly wanted to come in here because, one, you never know what people are going through. I'll definitely say that. But number 2, and it's very cliche to say, I'll say that. But just because something's cliche doesn't mean it's not true. If you care about somebody, you need to remind them you care about them. Whether it's hugging them, giving them a kiss on the forehead, or if it's your partner, giving them, a kiss, or just simply even me and Trey, we always tell each other we love you, because you never know. I woke up on September 22nd, 2020, and got a phone call that my father wasn't coming home. And, that's something you're never prepared for when it doesn't feel like it's time. When, your father's only in his 60s, you're only in your lower 30s. So I would just say all this to tell you the thing that hurts about life is also the thing that's great about life. And that is that life's not guaranteed. Life is one and done. So you could sit here and try and do, spread hate and all that, or you can spread love. You can tell people you love them. You can spend, extra 5 minutes with somebody. But the biggest thing is hug somebody today. Tell somebody you love them today, because one day that person's not going to be there. And they're going to miss graduations. They're going to miss movies. They're going to miss holidays. And you're always going to have, this hole in your chest about that. So just choose love, guys. Just everyone out there, just take today and tell one person that you love them. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I did not expect that to hit me so much, but hey, one take, whatever happens, happens. But normally, it's me and Trey. We're having fun. And we even tried to do that on the episode, episode 6, which is in the link if you'd like to listen to it. But sometimes you just got to be honest with people. You got to be live. But we have a lot of exciting things coming. Like I said, we're redoing the studio. We'll do a full tour once it's up, once we get the movie shelf up. And if you guys want to follow along, there's so many ways you can do it. Let me tell you the best ways. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok, Toast to Film, all one word. Check us out on Twitter at film_toast. Or check us out on YouTube. You can see me being a crying mess. You can see this blank wall that's going to be covered in movies here shortly, just in about a week or so. And you can make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe. We really appreciate the subscribing. I love the likes. I love the comments the most. Give me some comments. I love reading, responding to. But guys, I just wish you all well. And, here's to Ed up in heaven. And we just wish you a good night, good viewing. And just in case nobody told you today, we love you.